Hey up viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to Surrey Being Hunted. This is episode 576 now, I think it is, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I do believe that's right. So, hope you guys are all doing well. It's Friday afternoon, as I'm going to record this, Friday the 30th of June. Work is over for the day and I kind of need to record some more Surrey Being Hunted because my little video upload schedule is getting a little bit emptier, so I really could do with recording a few things, probably maybe a couple of other bits and bobs, maybe some more Call of Duty World War II, and based on the schedule, actually, some different games as well, because as of when this video goes out, my series on the Forgotten City will be coming to a close. So I need to actually get recording something by way of a replacement playthrough. Well, not a replacement, rather, I should say a subsequent playthrough of something else. For which I'm thinking about doing more of the Chiller's Art horror games, because there's still a few for me to get through, basically. So we're going to try and do that, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I say, hope you guys out there are all doing well, and that, you know, you're enjoying yourselves, whatever day this might be that it goes out. I can't actually remember what day this was scheduled to be released, just based on my little schedule. In case anyone's curious what I mean by that, it's basically when I record videos, I have a Microsoft Word document, where I set out dates and which video is going to go out when. So that means, you know, when I look at that document, I know, for example, that on such and such a day, I'm going to release an episode of Sir, or I'm going to release, say, an episode of Call of Duty World War II, or something like that. But yeah, I did check the schedule just before recording this, but I've forgotten what day. It said that this particular episode of Sir needed to go out. So it'll go out whenever it goes out, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, whatever day it is, hope you're all doing well. Hope life's treating you well and all that. You know, in big news at the moment, Steam Summer Sale is now on. Opened up the day before. Because obviously it's June 30th as I'm going to record this. June 29th is when it opened up. So I have a feeling that over the coming weeks, my wallet is going to be getting a little bit lighter. Because there are tons of games on my wish list, which are now going, in some cases, at very heavily discounted rates. So no doubt I'm going to be freaking splurging out some of them. I've actually already splurged out on a few, as of when I record this. Got myself a game called Witch Hunt. I got myself another Chiller's Art horror game, Night Security, their most recent one that they've released. So hopefully you'll be seeing that at some point on the channel once I get through my outstanding Chiller's Art horror games. Strangeland, a point-and-click adventure with a, well, horror adventure with a very unique art style. That's another one that I bought. And there was another one, actually, that I did buy. I've forgotten what it was. Oh, Mundawn, I think it was. Another horror game, but again with a very distinct visual art style. So, who knows, maybe that'll be stuff that you'll be seeing on the channel fairly soon. Especially since I want to kind of push forward with some of my horror content. You know, now that the Forgotten City is going to be winding up, I think now's the time to get through some of these short horror games of mine that I have in my Steam library and just try and blitz them. Where's my... there it is, there's my revolver. Right here, freaking dogs and all sorts of stuff around. I just have one more device piece on this island that I need to find. So yes, Steam Summer Sale. Plenty of games are going to be swelling up my Steam library in due course, because Lord knows I clearly don't have enough of them already. Right, there is a friggin' wisp going off in that direction. Kind of awkward, since the balloon is right there, but sure. Where have you gone? Where'd old wispy boy get to? There's more robots off over there, that's not good. Alright, there's a whole patrol of them, in fact, coming this way by the looks of it. In fact, there's a patrol over there too. No, this is a bad place to be, really, isn't it? Oh, fuck. Balls to you. Crap. Alright, they're going to go over that way, because they haven't seen me. Watch out for any poachers. Shit. Okay, luckily, those guys over there are oblivious. They didn't see me, they're just going towards the sound of the gunshots. We're good. We're golden. Well, I lost track of that wisp that I saw, so I don't know where it is. I'll have to try and re-find it. But we've escaped for now, that's good. Unoccupied village over here. Whoa, sea beast, hello over there. Taking me by surprise, are you? Farmstead. Take another train, why the hell not? And eat some chocolate biscuits. Now, actually, in other news, earlier today, when I was on my lunch break, whilst working away on work-related gubbins, actually was just sort of looking at funny news articles and things like that. Just try and get some inspiration for topics of conversation that I could potentially talk about, during this episode. And I found one of them actually, which was a website, it was a webpage from The Independent, about sort of misconceptions, things that people believe which are not actually true. There's an interesting one actually about Christmas nativities. Well, you all know the story of the nativity, ladies and gentlemen, right? Baby Jesus born and all that. The shepherds visited, and then the three kings, and each of them presented a gift: gold, frankincense, myrrh, and all that. Well, apparently, I didn't know this, but according to this article I read, it's not actually true. The actual Bible doesn't say, well, it doesn't specify that there were three kings. It specifies three different types of gifts, but it doesn't say that there were just three kings, though. So for all we know, there could have actually been more kings, and they just gave shared gifts or something. Or maybe, one king gave gold, and then another king happened to also give gold, or something like that. But it does get you thinking about how many things in life that you sort of believe to be true because of, stories and things like that you're told as kids. How many of them are actually true, or how many of them are based on misconceptions? Like other ones that were on that article. There's a common historical misconception that Napoleon, for instance, was a short boy. But he wasn't. He was actually taller than the average for men in France in the sort of late 18th, early 19th century. So that was basically complete bollocks, that whole thing about him being kind of a bit of a shorty. So, no you don't. Just go towards that train, please. There we go. Right, I'm going to loop around and get that old device piece while they're having a look at that toy train over there. There we go. Final one. Boom. Lovely. Alright, let's get moving on. Okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think in my head about other potential misconceptions. Things that we always believe to be true, but not really. I mean, certainly like in British history, for instance, there's plenty. For example, like if you go back to the Second World War, the old Churchillian saying about the Royal Air Force, never was so much owed by so many to so few. There's always this kind of underdog story in the UK about the Royal Air Force in World War II. But actually, from what I understand, based on histories I've read, the problem with that quote from Churchill is that actually it may have been true early on in the war, but there was a point later in, the Blitz, sort of 1940-41, where actually the Royal Air Force was sort of on parity with the Luftwaffe. So this idea of it being like the few holding out against a massive tidal wave of enemy Luftwaffe fighters and bombers and whatever is not strictly true. So, yeah. It's always fascinating, though, reading about things like that, isn't it? Hit me up, ladies and gentlemen, with your misconceptions down in the comments. Things that you read about when you were younger and for a long time you sort of accepted to just sort of be the truth. But then, at some point later on, you kind of learned were not actually true at all. Or, maybe not necessarily were false, but perhaps maybe weren't quite accurate to what actually happened. For example, if it was like a misconception about a historical event or whatever. Hit me up, folks. I'm sure it'll be very, very interesting. Alright, let's just get some supplies from here, then we'll head back to the centre island and get some more stuff. Sorry. Voice nearly gave out then. I'm going to take those, since the poachers are now spawning. I think we're good. Yeah. There's not really much else for me to get here, is there? Alright. Let's head away from here, ladies and gentlemen. Thinking as well, sorry, I'm kind of digressing a bit here and going back to the topic of conversation I was talking about a moment ago, about the Steam summer sale and all that, and games that I have yet to play on my channel at some point. I'm just reflecting on the broad mass of horror games that I need to try and get through. I still need to play Soma. Soma I have mentioned so many times, and I still have yet to play it. Which I should do, because of course, by all accounts, according to all reviews, It is a very, very good horror game, and there's a lot to love about it. It's got a very interesting story, very interesting premise, and apparently it's set on like an undersea base or something, and you know me, I love my maritime settings in video games, so I'm sure that'll be right up my alley. Other horror games, Lethe Episode 1, that's the one I've got in my library that I need to play. God, it's just there's so many. Too many to name, really. So I'm sure I'll work my way through them steadily and all that. That also reminds me though, I need to get back working on that discussion video that I mentioned that I was going to do for the Silvio games. Because I recorded a load of footage for that, but I kind of haven't been able to do any more of it since. Alright, let me just jump cut. Basically, I took a load of footage from the original Silvio 1, and now I just need to go back to Silvio 2, replay it off camera in my own time, and just take some recordings of sort of pertinent moments, things that are particularly relevant to the story, as well as other little bits and bobs that might be of interest in a video about Silvio's lore. But having said that, actually talking about Silvio, I recently watched a John Wolfe playthrough of the demo for Silvio 2 from back in the day, the prototype demo, which used to be available on itch.io but isn't actually available anymore. And holy shit, Silvio 2 was actually going to be very different to the game that we actually got in the end. Basically, the camera sort of video EVP mechanics of it were going to be a bit different. You're actually going to be able to use a video camera that you could pull up at any moment that you wanted. And there were more kind of like puzzles and stuff going on in it, which is a real shame, because the story of Silvio 2, for anyone who doesn't know, is that the Kickstarter campaign for it, from what I understand, basically didn't quite meet the funding goal, so the dev basically had to scale back his ambitions in terms of what he really wanted to do with that game, and so that's why we got the Silvio 2 that we actually got. Which is real unfortunate. I mean, I did enjoy Silvio 2 for its concepts and some of the things that were in it. But yeah, certainly in comparison to Silvio 1, it was something of a downgrade. I can understand why people maybe would have found it disappointing compared to the original. But what can you do? Perils of crowdfunding your games and all that. And there's a lot of robots up there who are kind of in the way. I'm going to sip water whilst I wait to see if they disperse. Because I need to get to those there standing stones, ladies and gentlemen. Also, actually, in other news, I hear there's a new friggin' Indiana Jones film that's come out. I think it's come out recently. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Haven't seen it. Probably would want to see it, actually. I think there's a cinema not too far from where I'm living. So, who knows, maybe they're screening that. Maybe I should go and have a look in an evening sometime. Go and watch it. I can do a Surrey Being Hunted episode on it. Don't really know much about what it's about, but Harrison Ford, friggin' still doing an action role, even as he gets older and older. Which, power to him and all that. So, what's it about? Without being too spoilery, ladies and gentlemen, summarise the basics of the plot. Don't tell me the ending though, or anything like that. Don't be a spoilering numpty. Just give me a very, very general sense rather of the premise of it. Can you guys fucking just move, please, so I can actually go and just do stuff? Which way are they gonna go? Because he's just standing around over there. Okay, he's going that way. Where are you going? You're going that way. Alright, maybe we'll be okay. Must be an exit on this side of the field that they're going to come out of. Okay. Once again, my computer seems to be doing something that it's been doing lately in COD World War II. See how I keep flicking in and out of iron sights there? I've actually got my right mouse button held down, but sometimes it keeps flicking out for some reason. Don't know if that's like a game thing or maybe a problem with my mouse or something, who knows. I mean, my mouse is actually functional for the most part. It'll be right. Be right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, right, let's dump these device pieces and then we'll probably wrap up. Wrap up, folks. Here we go. Chuck them in. Boom. There we go. Right, there was another episode of Surrey Being Hunted with me, General Red Strategist. 2 more islands to go on this map and then we're done. And after that, I'll have to get to another challenge at some point, won't I? So, you know, the usual spiel for the outro, social media, propagandist channel links down below in the video description, blah blah blah. Like is always appreciated, of course, if you did enjoy this video. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye, all. Okay, God, here they come. You're rappelling down, are you? Little bastards. Okay, that's where you're coming from. Oh, they've blown the gates. They blew the gates, man. Oh. Yeah, yizers. Good, take them all down. Right, just watch out for any more who rappel in. Oh, bloody hell. I think we have to get out and destroy that helicopter. Like this, if we can, but if he'll come back. Right, give him a shot like that. Oh, you bastard. Right, I don't really have any other RPG ammo unless I go this way. Ah, but the door's locked now. Ooh! That's a friggin' dropship or something. Yow! Yow! Yizers! Let me in, let me in, let me in. That's not the place to be.